Hey everyone, what's up? It's Zach. I'm here with another YouTube video today, and today I got a story out of Philadelphia, which is another black person getting the cops called on them, and this time it's for selling water. Now, before I get into this, I just want to say, for all these people calling the cops on black people for doing nothing, y'all need to grow up. I mean, y'all just need to grow up. And this is from a white person. Y'all see I'm white. Okay. So, people just need to grow up before I even get into this, people are being childish. It goes from the people barbecuing in their backyard, the little girl selling water, the little boy cutting grass, and now we got a teenager for selling water bottles. Now, I don't know what people's problems are, but I mean, this is getting out of control. So let's get into it. Now, it says police are investigating arrest of a black teen selling water bottles at a zoo in Philadelphia. Now, it says the video shows police struggling to arrest a 14-year-old black teenager. It says a public safety officer who had been working to disperse the crowd for soliciting money supposedly flagged down the police. The children were raising money for a local football team. Now, if they were raising money for the football team, the starter football team, that is great because, teenagers out there, no matter what their race is, no matter what the race is or gender is. I mean, we got black teenagers, white teenagers, female teenagers, male teenagers, shooting people, robbing stores, fighting people, joining gangs, raping people, hurting people, stealing stuff from people. I mean, so if they are indeed raising money for the football team, like they said, that is great. I would pay. I would just give them, $20 just to do it. Now, this is the part that gets me. Now, I am a police supporter. You can see by the flag and by my shirt. And I have another picture over here. But, like I say in some of my videos, not all police are good. Just because you're a police officer, that does not mean nothing. Just because you are a police officer does not mean anything until you prove that you are doing your job. Millions of people become cops. Some people abuse their power. Some people think they're above the law and can do whatever they want. Some people don't feel like they have to do everything else that other people do. And then there are a lot of good cops out there, though. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good cops. Because I've met bad cops and good cops. There are plenty of each. So, with that being said, it says the police said they doubted the players were selling to raise money for the football team. Okay. Well, everybody got their own views and own beliefs and own opinions on that, because the only people who really know what they're going to do with the money is the people who were selling the water bottles and God. That's the only people who know what was going to happen with the money. So we're going to go ahead and scratch that out about what the police think. And they did not have a permit. Now, as far as having a permit, I didn't hear about any of these other people having permits. So now, is it inside the zoo or outside the zoo, near a zoo? Yeah. But, I mean, and the permit, is that really the best y'all can come up with to get them to leave as a permit? I mean, come on now. A permit? I mean, okay, yeah, is it against the law? Yes, it's against the law. Is it something that you're going to sit there and waste your time on? Probably not. I mean, could it be dangerous? Yeah, it could be dangerous. Could they have put something in the water? Yeah. Could they have did this to the water? Yeah, they could have. But, I mean, yeah, all that could have happened. But really, I mean, with all the stuff going on, you really had time to sit there and stop them from selling water bottles. Now, here's what the public safety officer at the zoo had to say about it. She said that it is standard practice to ask anyone engaged in commercial behavior, which is what they were doing, selling, or aggressive behavior, which would be yelling, fighting, arguing, all that, to leave the premises. Now, that is fine. You got your job to do as the security there. Ask them to leave. That's fine. Ask them to leave, and if they don't leave, yeah, I call the cops. But I mean, the part that gets me is struggling to arrest a 14-year-old. Okay. Was he aggressive? Who knows? I ain't seen a video yet. Was he being aggressive towards the cop? Who knows? But for the cop to say he doubts the players were selling money to raise for a football team, I mean, you can't sit there and say that. I mean, you can say you doubt it all you want, which is fine. Everybody got an opinion, like I said, but I mean, for you to sit there and say you doubt it, I mean, that could be taken the wrong way and get the cop in trouble. I mean, you can't just go out there and say that. A teenager and an adult were cited for disorderly conduct, which, if they were acting stupid, I mean, that's fine, cite them for disorderly conduct, but, with all the stuff going on, like the little girl selling water bottles, did the woman really need to call the cops on her for selling water bottles? The little boy cutting grass, did they really need to call the cops on him for cutting grass? Did they really need to call the cops on the woman for barbecuing? And like my video I did yesterday, did the woman really need to go up to the guy and say, you can't wear socks in the pool, especially if her friends are breaking the same rule, wearing hats when you're not supposed to? So, even if they didn't have a permit, even if they weren't raising money for a football team, whatever they were raising money for, I mean, racism is at an all-time high, I believe. And people can blame Donald Trump, people can blame Barack Obama, people can blame white people can blame black people. People can blame the KKK, people can blame white supremacists, people can blame the black movement group, people can blame Black Lives Matters, people can blame the cops, they can blame whoever they want. It's not going to do no good, because at the end of the day, if we, as the people, don't stop racism and we don't try to stop it, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I hear people talking about, people are going to pick sides, war's coming in, people are going to pick sides, and it's going to be a race war. And, with all these videos I do, and some of these other YouTubers I watch that do videos like I do, some of the YouTubers do agree with me. They do agree with what I'm saying. Some of the YouTubers are neutral. And, I see one YouTuber, not going to point out no names, but, he doesn't really put race into it. But everybody that comments puts race into it, and it turns out to be, white people are the problem of all race, white people are devils, white people are the KKK, all cops are bad, and that's like 95, 98, 99% of the comments are about that. And everybody, each race has its own issues with crime, with racial tension, with believing cops, and, that goes back to the way you were brought up. If you were brought up that, you know, black people are bad, black people this, that, you know, okay, just because you believe that and you were brought up that way does not mean you have to go out there and show your racism. You know, you can be brought up however you want. People change all the time, no matter how they're brought up. You know, someone can be brought up in the Black Lives Matter group and get out. Someone can be brought up in the KKK and get out. You know, it's all about how you feel, what you believe in, if you want to help people or not. You know, and this is part of the reason why I make my YouTube videos. I make my YouTube videos, like I said in my video yesterday. You know, I make these videos because not only do I want to get the news out, I want to get the news out, but I also don't want the news out in the way the media does it. Black person did this, and that's it. Or a white person did this, that's it. You know, not all black people are bad. I met white people that have treated me worse than a black person has. Not all Mexicans are bad. I've met some Mexicans that treat me better than white people have. You know, not all white people are bad. You know, and people talk about gay, bi, trans, lesbian people and transsexual people all the time. Okay? I met plenty of them. They're not all bad. You know, just because someone says that they're gay doesn't mean they're bad. You know, like I said, I work Burger King, so my manager he's not a bad person. He's a great person. You know, not all people are bad. A lot of people are awesome. You know, a lot of people want to make a difference in the world. A lot of people want to do good in the world. So, for all these people saying black people are bad, or white people are bad, or Mexicans are bad, or Chinese, Japanese are bad, whatever, gay, lesbian, bi, trans are bad, yeah. And for these people calling the cops, especially on teenagers and little kids, y'all need to grow up and get a life and do something with your life, because if you got time to do that, you ain't got no time. I mean, you got time to be making a difference in the world. So, for them people there, that's all I got to say. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you think that the teenagers were selling money for a football team, what you think should have happened, if they should have got told to move, if they should have a permit or not, and what do you think about the cop said, and what should happen to the cop, if he should stay on the job, get desk duty, kicked off the force, or whatever. How y'all feel about this whole video? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about race, because I just put a lot of videos about race in there. So let me know what you guys think about that.